real quick, here's the Phoenix PX6 that will be available on the website shortly. And then the new Linkswell. This is also the Gen 5S. What YouTuber out there has compared both the Tesla style radios? I don't think there's any. I'm gonna do a factory reset on this one before we take it out, but it looks pretty identical except for the new one doesn't have the defrost and the off button. This is going to be a general video on how to install the radio. So if you don't have a RAM or anything and you just kind of want to follow along to see how easy it's going to be, then just disregard some of the parts like how to take off the front bezel and stuff. My goal is to make this video a general idea, but if you're coming here for the RAM too, and also how to for that. So first, before you get to start, you gotta take this bezel out because this radio and this one right here is going to be screwed into this whole bezel thing right here. I have a little additional thing that needs to be unplugged, which is the stability control bypass harness. So if you guys are interested, go ahead and go down to my website and pick one of those up too, where this thing's also going to be listed. But on the Rams, at least the 4th gen, you gotta take this little rubber cover out, and then you got two T20. So I can't get the light in there. Two T20 little screws in there. You gotta pull those out. I was able to get that out by hand, sitting right here. And then this whole bezel kind of pulls off like that. Don't be afraid to break it because it's not going to break. And if it does break, you got super glue. And then all we gotta do is pull this back. I'm gonna try to do this. I'm gonna try to set the camera down so you guys can see this. But you're gonna have connectors going to this. You're gonna have connectors going to the radio, of course. Connectors going to, well, if you have one of these, connectors going to that. And connectors going down here as well. So just pull this back enough so you can get all the connectors out. Like this is the very first like early stage when you're making them. Now you got these little Phillips screws that hold everything down right here. If I remember right, which I'm doing this based off memory, yeah, there's one that misses and skips. It's a button up or something. I don't know if it's bottom. You guys actually use it as a help. Now you gotta take these little Phillips screws out, and then you'll be able to completely separate the unit from the bezel right here. Looks identical, but some differences. See the bottom right here, and the bottom right here. Overall, this is a really good unit. I liked it. And now we have all this wiring. Like I said, this looks complicated, but it's really not. Everything has a spot to go to, so if it doesn't plug in, then it won't plug in. I think there was one that was the same. I think that was the reverse camera, but if I come to that, I will show you guys that. So let's kind of pull this harness off. I'm wondering if the harnesses are the same, but just in case, we're going to just go ahead and switch it to. So after you got the harness out, this is what you're left with. This is the harness that I'm using. You may have a different harness if you have like steering wheel controls or stuff like that. But like I said, everything has a spot in the location, so you shouldn't have any problems with that. This right here is the GPS antenna, which is right here, but I got my windows tinted and I have the double-sided tape on the GPS antenna thing. So I'm gonna try not to rip that off so I don't ruin my tent. And I'm going to double check to make sure that the GPS antenna that is in, for this new radio is the same kind. If you want to buy this one, I'll just send you with the new one, as long as it's the same. So the harnesses are actually surprisingly the same. It uses your bezel screws that are in there. So I'm gonna still go ahead and use these brand new harnesses just in case, send you with the old one. The one I don't use on this one too, I'll probably send with it because I don't know where the other one is for that, but you'll have this one. And then the antenna is exactly the same too. So I'm gonna go ahead and start putting it all back together, which is the reverse of what I just did. And then we'll get into reviewing it and see what the differences are with the Linkswell compared to the Phoenix PX6. For the sake of having it laid down like this one is still unplugged. but it looks like a jumbled mess. But like I said, everything has its own place. It won't plug in if it doesn't go there. It will plug in if it does go there. A couple differences from this one and the Phoenix PX6. This one is a Sirius XM radio, so you got a little clip right there. It also has a microphone right up there, where the other one doesn't. It has a radio microphone, but it still works like very well. I've had issues on taking phone calls or anything like that with that. So basically the only thing we have to do now is plug that in, which is the shifter control, and then put everything back up, plug that microphone in, which I decided to just drill a hole and put it right there instead of doing all this other crap. Yeah, so we just gotta put it back together and then we'll start doing a review. I already tested it and turned it on. The radio does turn on. I didn't check the radio yet, the audio. It's a little dark in here, and that is because I was at work when I was putting this video in, so when cars come, that's obviously a priority. So it definitely took me some time to get this head unit in. It is completely installed, and I know the first thing you're going to notice is this, and we're going to talk about this here in a little bit. But first things first, I had a couple things crossed up. Just the audio for one. Before you put everything together permanently, you just kind of stick it together, turn your car on, make sure everything works like it's supposed to. If it doesn't, go through and problem solve and figure it out. It's very simple and very easy. Now, comparing this with the Phoenix PX6, I personally like this one like a whole lot better, but that doesn't mean that it should deter you from the Phoenix PX6 in any way. I know this is a sponsored video for this, but I'm gonna be just completely honest. I mean, they're both great head units. The Apple CarPlay is what sets it off for me on this one. A couple differences with this one compared to the other one. This one comes with an external mic, which I put right here. Just easy. I kind of just drilled a hole in there and used some Cubon, which is the best super glue ever available to mankind. So you kind of want to get that. The Sirius radio thing, they didn't give me enough slack. So I mean, I stuck it right here. I hate it, but luckily I could get rid of that. I'm probably never going to use it, honestly, but it's kind of a cool addition on there. Now for the screen itself, the touchscreen is like amazingly good. I mean, you just tap and it's like it's there. It's just like your smartphone basically. You got everything from, I don't have any forward cameras or anything, but you got the backup camera, which is all salty and snowy right now. But then you have your phone link, which is like right here, and you have basically everything, you know, from like Apple CarPlay, which is really cool. And I like that feature. I love that feature actually. So you go to the home screen, you have all your apps and stuff. You can download apps like Alpha OBD if you have a RAM or something like that, and you want to kind of do some canvas tuning on there. You can use Alpha OBD, which is great, which I used on my last one. So if anybody wants to purchase that, you know, you'll be able to use Alpha OBD. The climate is a little bit different too. It's a little bit more simple, I feel like. And I like this better. And then also the time up here, which isn't a big deal for a lot of people, but for me it's a pretty big deal because I like seeing the time at all times instead of on just a home screen. But I know there's a lot more to this radio than just all of this. As of right now, I absolutely love this. I have no regrets in putting this in. I think it's a fantastic buy. Now let's talk about this little contraption right here. This is obviously not stock. Now I was actually very mad and butthurt when I was putting this screen and I was screwing it back to the bezel itself. I actually did a little bit too tight and I broke this and a little piece fell out and I was so mad. Well, this is where the Apple CarPlay hooks to. I have a little rainbow cord because nobody will steal a rainbow cord. I have, there's a hole right here, which turns out was just big enough for the USB in there. So I Cubon that little USB connector in there, just like that. And it actually works out pretty good. I wish it would have broken on that side and not next to the gear selector, but it is what it is. So that's the story behind that. Had a little ingenuity right there, but I mean, whatever works, right? Like, I'd rather have that there than a gaping hole. I want you guys to know that both radios are very good. The Phoenix PX6, which I had in here before this radio, it was a flawless radio and everything. You know, if you want something cheaper, you can definitely go with that, you know, route. This is definitely the more expensive one, and I love how it's set up. And again, this is the Linkswell. It is the Gen 5S. The company was awesome for sending me this radio and let me try it out, and I'm deeply appreciative for it. So I hope you guys liked this video. I hope it helped you in some sort of way. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns or anything like that, go ahead and put them down in the comments below and I will get to them. I'll answer anything you have, if you decide to buy one of these and you have a problem setting it up or hooking it up or something like that, just let me know, please. Like, I have no problem answering questions. I'll help you out to the best of my ability. Even with the harnesses or anything else that's on the website, or even if you have a problem with your car, you know, send me a message and I will do the best that I can. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next video. So stay different. We'll see you next time.